Station, this is Houston. Are you ready for the event?
Houston, this is Station. We are ready for the event.
Pine River Backus Schools, this is Mission Control Houston. Please call station for a voice check.
Emma Barkas, 10th grade student at Pine River Backus School. How do you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear.
My name is Emma. We want to welcome you, Flight Engineer Vandehei, to PRB Schools. We have Senator Eichhorn and Representative Lehman here as well. We're all so excited to talk to you today. This is such a huge honor to be a part of your first downlink. Our first question is, how did your experiences in the military help prepare you for being an astronaut and going into space?
Well, there's a very direct correlation between the military and being able to fly in space for me, because being in the military is all about taking care of the people on your team. And up here in space, I'm on a team of 6 people that's separated from the rest of humanity. So that ability to take care of ourselves in extreme environments and to take care of other people is really important.
Hi, my name is Abilene. What does gravitational force feel like as you launch?
What does gravitational force feel like as we launch? So during the launch on the spacecraft we used, the G-forces, that's what we call the multiplication factor of a normal force from gravity. It's really the acceleration we experience. That was at most about 3 times, I believe, what we normally feel. But because we were laying on our backs while we were launched, it just felt like we were being shoved harder into the seat. It really wasn't that bad, though. It was pretty interesting.
Hi, my name is Kyla. Do you get scared and sometimes think, OMG, I'm in space?
I'm sorry, could you say that again?
The question was, do you get scared and sometimes think, OMG, I'm in space?
So yes, I definitely have a lot of wow moments. Honestly, I'm realizing that our ability to walk is hugely dependent on gravity. And the first 2 to 3 days, actually even now I'm still learning about how to move around. It's like learn to walk again. The fact that I can float makes it really easy to move, but it's also very easy to float past the place I want to be. Or, for example, like if I wanted to stay right here and wasn't paying attention, it's really easy for me to just float up and away from where I want to stand.
Hi, my name is Eleanor. What kind of research or experiments do you do in space?
That's a great question. There are hundreds of experiments we're doing in space. One that I can highlight is an experiment we did growing lung tissue in space. Our hope is that that lung tissue will be able to help fight cancer. And we just returned that to Earth a couple of days ago to have researchers continue to use that tissue to understand it better.
Hi, my name is River. How often do you get to speak to your family and friends while aboard the International Space Station?
I try to talk to my wife about every 2 days. Yesterday was the first time I got to talk to my children and my wife, and it was fun because I got to take them on a tour around the space station. But fairly frequently. We have a phone up here, so I'm able to make phone calls. The only difficulty is sometimes the satellite coverage isn't that good, and we lose coverage momentarily, so it's not quite as convenient as being on the ground, but it's really quite nice.
Hi, my name is Cameron. Do you think humans will ever live on Mars?
I definitely think as long as we can maintain peace and progress as a species, we will be able to get people on Mars. It's definitely a possible thing, We just got to work hard to get there, and there's lots of things for us to learn along the way.
Hi, my name is Grady. Has a meteor ever hit the space station? And if so, what has been done to fix the damage?
Actually, in a way, yes. We've got what we call micrometeoroids, and there are places on the outside of the space station where you can see evidence of those micrometeoroid strikes. We haven't had one big enough that we've had to had a leak into the space station, because the space station was designed with that in mind. And what we have to do, though, is make sure that when people do spacewalks, if there's a sharp edge as a result of that, that people are aware of it, or we've covered that up with something.
Hi, my name is Hannah. Mentally, how do you prepare yourself for the hazards and risks of being in space?
Well, I think the most important thing about preparing to go to space is the training that we receive. For example, when we launched out of Russia, prior to launching out of Kazakhstan, we trained in Russia for several years, and the simulations they put us through in Russia were very challenging, to the point where it almost surprised me that everything went normally. There was no malfunctions to deal with during our entire trip from the Earth to the space station. So, and I expected that to be the case, but because of the training, we felt like we were ready for anything that could possibly go wrong, and nothing did.
Hi, my name is Kensley. How do you complete daily tasks while living and working in a microgravity environment?
It takes some getting used to. So first of all, we have a team of people on the ground that keep this space station running, and one person's job, several people's job, is to make the plan for what tasks we have to do. But I think what you're really wondering about is, how do you do this stuff in space? It's really about finding a place to secure yourself. For example, I could want to work on this wall to my right, and I could hold myself with a hand, but if I need to use two hands, I could put my feet in that same place and hold on to something with my feet. And then I have both of my hands free to do something with. So you have to find some part of your body to connect yourself to a surface so you don't float away.
Hi, my name is Emma. What advice do you have for a student who wants to become an astronaut?
I would say find what you love to do, and then find a way to do it. I really believe that astronauts are people that NASA found who were being very, very successful at what they did in a wide variety of technical fields. And because they loved what they were doing, they were very successful at it. So again, I think it's a very personal thing. And the other crucial piece is the chances of becoming an astronaut are very small. So it's important that you're doing something you love and enjoy the path, regardless of whether or not it results in you becoming an astronaut.
Hi, my name is Andrew. If it were possible to visit any planet, which one would you choose and why?
Well, my favorite planet is certainly the Earth, because we are custom built to live on the Earth. I would say Mars. It's certainly a planet we already intend to get to. We're working on spacecraft to get there. But I think the idea of traveling that far away and learning about what it takes to live in another place that isn't as hospitable to life as the Earth would be extremely interesting.
Hi, my name is Abby. What happens if you get an injury or get sick?
So, we don't always have a doctor on the crew, but in our crew of 6, one of the crew members is actually a doctor. But we've all gotten some medical training and dental training, for example. We also get a lot of help from experts on the ground. So if somebody got hurt, they would advise us what to do. And if somebody's in really bad shape and we need to go home early because of that, there's always the spacecraft that we launched in docked to the space station, that could serve as a lifeboat to take us home at whatever time it's necessary.
My name is Miles. Being in a different spot than Earth, do you have more solar eclipses?
Actually, no, we're very close to the surface of the Earth, and we get eclipses when the Earth, Moon, and Sun are aligned. So, because we're so close to the surface of the Earth, relatively speaking, compared to the distances between the Sun, the Moon, and the Earth, we get to see solar eclipses the same time as the Earth does. But the neat thing for us is we get to look down from space at the shadow on the Earth.
Hi, my name is Hudson. How many miles have you traveled since you left Earth?
You know, that's a great question. So I'm going to ask you guys to figure this out. The space station is traveling around 17,700 miles per hour. There's 24 hours in a day. And let's say I got here Wednesday, so that's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So let's just say 6 days times 24 hours times 17,700 miles per hour. Multiply those three numbers together and you'll get the answer.
Hi, my name is Audie. How do you get home from the International Space Station?
Another great question. We use the Soyuz spacecraft to get home. It's the same one we launched in, and it's a relatively short trip. We'll land on land in Kazakhstan under a parachute after we've slowed the spacecraft down enough so that it will deorbit and enter the Earth's atmosphere.
Hi, my name is Maddie. What made you want to become an astronaut?
I think the thing that made me want to become an astronaut was this idea of pushing the boundaries of what we understand. I also like the idea that it's mentally challenging and also physically challenging. So in many, many ways it's appealing to me. I also love the fact that right now we're working with people from multiple countries to do this, so it's a very international effort. And I also love the fact that the work we're doing provides some benefit to all of humanity.
Hi, my name is Lyndon. How long did you have to train to become an astronaut?
In some ways, you train to become an astronaut your entire life based on the decisions you make. But specifically, I got hired as an astronaut candidate in 2009, and now it's 2017, so I would say it took me 8 years of training to get here.
Hi, my name is Tony. How has the microgravity environment affected you personally?
So personally, it's very, very humbling at first, because if you're the one new guy who's never done this before, everybody else seems to know how to move around well and get things done efficiently, and it was really easy for me to not pay attention to something. For example, if I was working with this microphone, I might set it someplace, turn around, do some work, come back, and sometimes the microphone wouldn't be present, or the tool I was using wouldn't be present. So then I have to start looking all over the place to find things. It was very easy for me to bump into things because I'm floating around and I didn't have a lot of control. And I'd say I'm starting to improve a lot on that. It's getting more and more comfortable every day.
Hi, my name is Billy. What does the moon look like?
The moon looks like, I would say the moon looks the same from the space station as it does from the Earth. Again, we're really not that far away. One advantage is when the moon is visible for us, we never have to worry about clouds being between us and the moon, because they're all between us and the Earth.
Hi, my name is Brooke. How long can you be in space?
Well, we've had people be in space for about a year, and we really don't know the limit, but we're trying to make sure that we can find a way to have people be very healthy so that if we go to another planet, no matter how long that trip takes, that those people will be healthy when they arrive, and they're not going to be met by doctors. They're going to be met by an empty planet.
Hi, can you tell us about the module that you are currently in?
Sure. This is the U.S. lab. It's, I would call it kind of a hub for the U.S. segment of the space station. It's got lots of different facilities. There's these things called international standard payload racks that are located all over. When we flew the shuttle to bring things up here, we interchanged those a lot. But every single surface is covered with either places to store equipment we use for experiments, or items we use to control the space station and keep it running well, or experiments.
And what advice do you have for the students in this room?
I would say try really hard, do your best, whatever your best is. But try harder to make sure that other people are doing their best than that you look like you're better than everybody else. It's really important that we do things as a team and that we are all successful together.
And there have been a lot of auroras or northern lights down here. Have you been able to see them from space? And if so, how are they different than here on Earth?
So the first day I arrived, the crew that was already here on the space station were very, very welcoming. We had a few things to get done, and then we had a very, very long day on the launch day, so we had a lot of rest time. But quite honestly, I didn't rest very much. I was so excited to be up here. I went to look out the window for about 45 minutes straight to watch both a sunrise and a sunset. And part of that, one of the crew members that was already here pointed out where an aurora was. How would I describe it as being different? I certainly felt like it looked a lot more expansive. On the ground, an aurora looks like a curtain of green above you. And from space, it looks like kind of a lot of rippling green below you, of course.
Okay. The Pine River Bacchus community, home of the Tigers, would like to thank astronaut Mark Vande Hei, NASA Education, and the NASA Downlink program for providing this opportunity for our students. Thank you very much.
Station, this is Houston ACR. That concludes the event.
Thank you all participants with the Pine River Bacchus Schools. We are now resuming operational audio communications.